Good morning to all my very special Broadacres children. My goodness, how I miss seeing your faces, and I really just can't wait until we can be together again and reunited at school. We don't know when that will be because of this virus, but I am honestly praying every day that it will be soon. I miss seeing your special faces and receiving those lovely hugs you give me every day. And I especially miss hearing all your stories and all the chats that you and I have. While we are apart, the only thing I can do is to keep all of the memories that I have of you, and I've got so many special memories. I keep them tucked safely in my heart, and that's what I do when I feel sad and I miss you. I think of those memories, and it keeps me going and it makes me smile again. Our new term 2, has started, and the way that we are learning is very, very different to what we normally do. You are in your home, your teachers are in their homes, and I am sitting here in my home. And the reason for this is to keep us safe from the COVID-19 virus. But you know what's amazing? Because of technology, we are still able to learn together. We're just doing it in a different way through Microsoft Teams and Zoom, and now we get to see each other on a screen. Next week, I'm actually going to surprise you, and you won't know when I'm going to come, but I'm going to join in some of your morning meetings or some of your group sessions on Zoom with your teacher so that I can actually get to say a proper hello to you, and I get to see your beautiful faces and hear your voices again, and I can't tell you how excited I am to do that. I might even get to read some of your story, and I'm really looking forward to it. Well, it's been a long time since we had our last assembly, and even though we can't go to the hall this morning on a Friday, just like we always do, I thought that I could bring assembly to your home today. Before I tell you the story that I have prepared for you today, I actually want to take this opportunity, like I always do at the beginning of the term, to welcome some new children that have joined our Broadacres family this term. And we actually have 8 new children who have joined the junior prep, and there I think are about another 5 who've joined the senior prep. So I'm going to talk about the junior prep children and welcome them. And we'll start with Miss Texera's class. There are 2 new little girls in Miss Texera's class, Isabella Tinoco and Ava Wilson. In Mrs. Oshry's class, Sienna Wilson has joined our family. In Mrs. Forbes's class, welcome to Miguel Tinoco, that's Isabella's brother. And in Mrs. Harler's class, Daniela James is a new member of our Broadacres family. And then in grade 3 in Miss Nace's class, I want to welcome Mateo Nioftu. It's so lovely to have you as part of our family, Mateo. And lastly, in Miss Terry's class, there are 3 new children, Pascal Frost, Leila Clefane, and Kamohelo Marinagwe. Leila's only going to be joining us in June because she lives in St. Francis Bay, but I'd like to welcome her anyway. I really wish to all these new children that I could call you up in front of all the children this morning and give you a big hug to show you how happy we are that you have joined our Broadacres family. And I really do look forward to when I can actually do that when we are back at school. So for now, a big welcome from all of us to you, and we hope that you'll have a very happy time as part of our family. And you know, boys and girls, while we've been in lockdown over the last 6 weeks, which is a long, long time, there are quite a few teachers and children who have celebrated their birthdays during this time. And you know that I normally call you up in assembly and we sing happy birthday to you, but I haven't been able to have that opportunity. And you know what? I actually celebrated my 50th birthday on the 6th of April, and I so missed being at school and being able to have you guys sing to me on that day, because I cherish that and I look forward to it every year when you sing happy birthday to me. And we haven't been able to do that for any of the children or teachers who've had a birthday during this time. So what I thought I would do, even though we can't actually call you up and sing happy birthday to you, that I would just call out all the children and the teachers who've had a birthday from the time that we went into lockdown and school closed up to this Friday, and my assembly message to you. So here goes. And the list is really long, so just bear with me. In March, towards the end of March, when we closed the school, in grade 1, Malika Kanju had a birthday, Demi Ilman, Ben Nolte, Naledi Shwe, and then in grade 0, Kanya Malachi, and also in grade 1, Jet Frasca. Those were our March birthdays, so happy birthday to all of you. And then in April, which is the month that we've just finished before going into May, we've had quite a lot of birthdays during that time, and I'm just going to read them out in order. Nsako Hlabane, Taylor Beswick, Ntiyiso Nkuna, Nathan Ramabula, Basani Nkuna, Luatile Ramekwa, Mishka Chetia, Max Edworthy, Eli Joubert, Kamara Holzinger, Menenhle Nikani, Riatile Matapo, Helena Modern, Jaden Labashane, Ryan Lee Shong, Pau Sabaya, Bavumile Molakeng, Leah Nomani, Mila Meyer, Ariel Perimal, Mia Eckstein. So those are the April birthdays. So happy birthday to all of you. And then the month of May has just started. And we actually are, it'll be the 8th of May today. And we have a birthday, somebody celebrating today. But I'll get to that now. Let me read the list of children who've had a birthday in May so far. Carlo Collin, Mikhail Bere, Noah Evans, Lutendo Rambau, Mikhail Harvey, Sadie Brown, Tatum Faber, and today, celebrating her birthday, is Leah van Grienen. So big happy birthday to every single child who celebrated a birthday in lockdown in March, April, and May. And apart from me celebrating my birthday in April, there are 3 other teachers who've also celebrated a birthday in lockdown in April. Miss Rusha, Miss Terry, and Andre celebrated a birthday in April. So I want to wish all the children and the teachers a very special year ahead. And I am blowing mwah, 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 kisses to all of you because I can't get to actually hug you. And you know how much I love your hugs. So boys and girls, did you know that it's actually Mother's Day on Sunday? And you know, I'm a mommy, so I know how your mummies have been working extra hard while you are learning at home. I've also got my daughter learning at home, and I've told you before that Julia is in matric, so I've got her with me and she's working very, very hard. Not only are your mummies helping you with your schoolwork right now, but they're also having to cook and clean and do their own work, and I know that I'm feeling tired. So I'm sure that your moms are feeling quite exhausted right now. So my story today is one that I've actually told you before, but I felt it would be really special to tell it again because it reminds us how special and important our moms are. So I want you to listen carefully while Mrs. Letcher reads the story. It's all about a little boy called Andy and what he did for his mom on Mother's Day. Here goes. Andy woke up early before anyone else in the house was awake because he had a plan. Today was Mother's Day, and Andy wanted to do something to show his mom how much he loved her. Andy decided that since his mom made him breakfast every day before school, today he would make her breakfast by himself, and he was very excited. First, I will go into the garden and pick some flowers so that the breakfast will look pretty. That's what Andy thought. And off he ran to pick some daisies and some roses from his garden. That was easy, Andy said. Now, on to the food. Andy went into the kitchen and he scoured the cupboards for the ingredients that he needed. As he found them, he placed them on the counter. Eggs to make scrambled eggs, bread and butter to make toast, juice to pour into a glass, and some strawberries because those are healthy. That was easy, Andy said, and now I just have have to cook everything and put it onto a plate. But this part wasn't so easy. Andy put a pan on the stove, but in all his excitement, he poured the strawberries into the pan instead of the eggs, and he poured the juice into the vase for the flowers. He began spreading butter onto the eggs instead of onto the toast. The butter made the eggs so slippery that they fell out of his hands and broke all over the floor. "Oh no," Andy cried as he looked round the kitchen. The strawberries were in the pan instead of on the plate, and the flowers, not the juice, needed to be in the vase. The butter needed to be on the bread, and the eggs should not have been broken. "Oh no," Andy said again. "I've mixed everything up. And now Mum will never know that I love her because I've done everything wrong. My breakfast surprise is ruined." "Andy," someone said. And Andy turned around to see his mum standing in the doorway of the kitchen. "What are you doing in here?" she asked. Andy felt scared. How could he possibly explain why he'd made such a terrible mess? I was trying, I wanted to, breakfast, love, Mother's Day." "You were making a Mother's Day breakfast for me?" Andy's mum asked. And he thought that this was the moment that she would get mad at him. "Oh, Andy, that's wonderful. That is the best Mother's Day present I could ever have asked for." And she gave Andy a giant hug right near the broken eggs. "But I didn't do it right," Andy said. "How is that a good breakfast? How is that a good present?" "Because you wanted to cook me breakfast, and you had this idea all by yourself. And Andy, you tried. You really tried. And cooking is hard," his mum said, "especially for someone who's never cooked before." "It's the thought that counts, Andy, and your thought was wonderful." Andy was happy that his mum still liked the surprise, even though it had come out all wrong. She looked around the kitchen and she said, "Let's have some strawberries." And together, Andy and his mum ate the warm strawberries from the pan, and they drank the juice out of the vase, and both of them were happy. "Happy Mother's Day, Mum," Andy exclaimed. "If it's the thought that counts, I think that you are the greatest mum ever." And Andy's mum smiled a great big smile on this great big mixed up Mother's Day. Now, boys and girls, I hope you enjoyed that story. It was funny, but actually the message is really important. I want you to remember what I always say to you. Although our mums love to receive gifts that we buy to make them feel special on Mother's Day, you can give your mum the gift of your time by making her a special cup of tea or coffee or making her some breakfast, going and picking a beautiful flower or some flowers from your garden, or making her something special like a card that comes from your heart. You can show Mummy how much you love her in so many little ways, and I want you to promise me that you will take extra special care of your mum this Sunday, which is going to be our very first lockdown Mother's Day ever, because your mum really deserves to have a rest after all these many weeks at home having to work so hard. I want you to think of something special that you would like to do for your mum, and maybe you could get your mum to send me a photo of this so that I can see what you did. Your mums do have my number, and if they don't have it, they can find it in an email that I've sent them at the bottom of the email with my email address. So until next week, Friday's assembly message, I want you to just to remember that I love and I miss you very, very much. And I wish all your mummies a very happy Mother's Day on Sunday. I will be thinking of all of you, and I hope you get to celebrate, and I hope that your children make you feel special. So boys and girls, don't let me down. Remember what I've asked you to do. And until then, until next week Friday, I want you to remember, as frustrating as it is, you stay at home and you stay safe, and remember that Mrs. Letcher loves you, and I'm saying bye for now.